Hello everyone, Rabbi Abe here. Welcome. We're going to talk about the month of Sagittarius. I'm going to give you tools to help you connect with the best aspects of this month, the angels of the month, the letters according to the book of Abraham, the letters that guide and control this month, and many, many more things to be able to get the best that this month has to offer, and it has a lot to offer. Before we get into it, as always, I want to thank everyone and I have utmost appreciation for those of you who are supporting this channel on YouTube and the entire Rabbi Abe platform. If you would like to support in some way, that support is really welcome so that we can continue to put out free content on YouTube and all the other content that we have on our website as well. All downloads will be available on the rabbiabe.com website. The tools that I will speak of, the angel that relates to the month of Sagittarius, and the special tools and consciousness that we need to have for meditation and to help us tap in to all the positive forces of the month. So, let's get into Sagittarius. What does it have to offer us? Well, there's so many things about Sagittarius. First, it's known as a month of miracles, as one of the months of miracles. The other actually is Pisces, a little bit less known. Month of miracles. It is ruled by two letters from the Book of Formation that explains the letter Samech, which we'll put up here. Samech is the creator of the constellation of Sagittarius, and the letter Gimel. And Gimel controls Jupiter. And Jupiter is the planet behind, the force, the energetic force behind Sagittarius. These two letters have two very similar characteristics, and we want to understand how these two ideas affect the month. The letter Samech relates, according to the Kabbalah, to Somech Noflim. Somech Noflim, the one who uplifts the downtrodden. Uplifts the downtrodden. Okay, that's the letter Samech. And the letter Gimel is abbreviated for Gomel Dalim. He redeems the poor. So, Jupiter redeems the poor. The constellation, Samech, uplifts the downtrodden. If you don't know what downtrodden means, those who've been put down. The letter Samech and the energy of Sagittarius, which is what it represents, is to uplift those who've been put down. When you put these two things together, it's a very powerful combination. In addition, the two letters together have a numerical value in gematria of 63. Now, 63 is a very significant number in Kabbalah. It represents the level on the tree of life, the level which we call Bina. Bina. Now, Bina is what we could call the storehouse of spiritual energy from our perspective. Okay, there are higher levels, of course, but from our perspective, it is the storehouse of the force of creativity. It's understanding. Bina relates to another thing. It literally is called Or de Chasadim, the light of mercy. Now, we've spoken about this in some other videos. We'll go a little bit into it over here to understand what that means and how does it affect our month. How does it affect our life? Whether you were a Sagittarius or not. Because remember, these talks that I give are not just for the person who's born under that sign. We're discussing the universal force behind the constellation that affects all of us in the same way. Yes, perhaps more so if you're a Sagittarius, but how do we get, any of us, Sagittarius or not, how do we get the best out of this month? What is it to be used for? Okay, so we know Sagittarius, we know it's a fire sign. And that means there's a lot of energy. Fire signs are quick thinking. They're fast acting, generally speaking. They do things fast. So because they're quick in their mind. The fact that they're quick in their mind can also make them quick to judge, for better or for worse. Be careful of that, okay? Quick to judge. Every fire sign has that issue. I could say especially Sagittarius, because we'll understand why, because they are very quick in process. Now we have to understand what that means. Quick in process. Okay, we'll come back to that. We know that they are the sign of the bow, the archer with the bow and the arrow. What does that actually mean symbolically, according to the Kabbalists? It means the goal, that I need to be tuned into a goal, which is not the nature of Sagittarius necessarily. And I'll tell you why. Because the nature of Sagittarius is to be in process. They love it. Because, the whole point of Sagittarius is challenge. They like a good challenge and overcoming that challenge. So when I have a challenge in front of me and I have something to overcome, I like that. Okay? So this month we have the ability to go through challenges which we might not necessarily want to do otherwise. But the energy of Sagittarius is when the challenge is done and there's no more challenge, what happens, unfortunately? Tikkun, correction, which is what? I get bored. And now I'm bored. I feel bored with the situation. Because why? Because there's no more challenge. So now I may pick up and look for greener pastures. Be careful with that. That can be good, that can be bad. Meaning, just because I don't feel a challenge doesn't mean I necessarily need to change what I'm doing. So some Sagittarius people will, jump from thing to thing. As soon as they feel they've mastered it, then now I'm bored. I need a new challenge. So you see, it avoids going deeper into something when I feel there's no more challenge. But there's always a challenge. Think about it for a second. If we're an expert at something, or if you know an expert in any subject, in any topic, however much they know, however much they are an expert, imagine, the expert of the expert, is there nothing more that they can discover, that they can know? No. Of course, there's always more. Why? Because knowledge is endless. Wisdom is endless. The light, the Creator's light, is endless. So there's always another layer to unravel. But when I think I've mastered it, and now I'm going to move on. When I think I've mastered this relationship, I move on. Can be mentally, doesn't have to mean physically. Okay? So, I can lose appreciation. I can lose interest. I can, lose motivation. Okay? But this is also, remember, the tikkun, the correction is within the month. When we use the tools that Sagittarius has to offer, not only we're able to overcome these things, we're able to derive all the benefit that there is in order to accomplish. Okay? And if we discuss the idea of Jupiter, now Jupiter has miracles attached to it. Why? Because if you look at the letter Gimel, which represents the energy of Jupiter, the spiritual force behind Jupiter, the vibration of Jupiter is with its foot forward. It's going through. It's getting out of the comfortable. Staying in a framework is what keeps us stagnant. Staying in our comfort zone is what limits us in life. That's what it does. So if we have, I procrastinate. What's a procrastinating? Procrastinating means I'm receiving comfort and I prefer the comfort over breaking out. Where are the miracles? No, the miracles are in breaking out. Never are the miracles going to be in a comfort zone. And the letter Gimel is to help us push us through the comfort zones, whatever they might be. We need, and in the month of Sagittarius, it's especially important to break out of frameworks. It is especially easy to break out of comfort zones, of sometimes selfish behavior. You know, if you do the Ana B'Koach, which you can download on my website, of course, at RabbiAbe.com, the 42-letter name, it is the second verse of the Ana B'Koach that controls this month. And what is it? Kra Satan, to break the Satan, break the Satan. And what is the Satan? Is it the little guy with horns? No, it's our comfort zone. It's selfish behavior. Excuse me. It is frameworks that I need to break out of to create new, creating something new. Remember, we are here to create. That's why we're here. And, okay, so, what else? The angel, which again will be part of the downloads that you'll download, the angel that controls this month, his name is Tzadkiel. Tzadkiel, 3 syllables. Tzadkiel. Now, Tzadkiel, his purpose is abundance, because there is abundance in this month. There is what we call mazal, exists in this month. Some people, excuse me, mistakenly call it luck. It doesn't really mean luck. It means rising above the astrology, rising above the zodiac influence, which is nature. There exists something called mazal. More accurately, mazala. And that's where all the abundance is. That's where all the change is. That's where all the beneficence is. It's above nature. This month, it's easier to climb above. But the requirement is, I have to break out of a framework. Whatever that framework is, I have to make a trade. If I want to break out, to go to that stage, which is called mazala, where abundance is, where good is, where miracles are that can shine down, I have to break a framework. So, whatever that framework is, if I judge other people, and it's easy to judge, unfortunately, in Sagittarius, because quick thinking. So quick thinking means I can come to conclusions also very quickly. It doesn't always mean the right conclusions. So, breaking out of a framework means I need to know, well, wait a second. What is it that I get from judging someone? I receive a boost. I receive a boost in myself because maybe I feel a little low. Maybe I was criticized growing up. And I need to feel I'm a little bit better. So I can put you down a little bit. I can feel a little higher. Okay? So this means that we can break out of that if we're willing to resist that little ego boost. And I go out of a framework. I connect to mazala. That's when I connect to above nature and the energy force of miracles that exists over there. And that's how Tzadkiel, this angel, can help us, because we want the support of that angel to draw down the abundance, also wisdom and kindness that exists in this month for us to tap into, as long as we are involved in heading to the goal. Now, what we said before, Sagittarius, the energy of Sagittarius is interested in the process, not so much the goal, which is the opposite of the rest of us. You see? So if we're not a Sagittarius, this month is going to be the perfect month to focus on process. And all the processes we've been avoiding, everything that we've been putting off that requires me to go through some process to get there. Maybe I'm looking for a new job. Maybe I'm starting a new business. Good month for that. Maybe I'm looking to move or change my apartment, whatever it is. Good month. Positive month. But it's a process. And sometimes that process puts us off. We don't like it necessarily. We feel, oh, well, I got to do this and I got to do that, and I'm dreading the thought and it's difficult for me. No, this month you want to push it. Why? Because again, you're going to push and you're going to get above that barrier, which we call nature, and you're going to tap into the force of miracles. Miracles, mazal. Remember that. Mazal, the force of miracles. Okay, what is the work? What is the work in this month? So, number one, what we would like to do, remember, is to avoid the, let's call it the boredom of Sagittarius. We want to fix our consciousness to go to deeper. We have to be ready to go to a deeper level. Even if we've been doing the same thing for 20 years, I want to find a deeper level, a new process, but on a deeper level, even if it's within the same thing. In that way, we'll go to a deeper level of light, spiritual light that exists, because light is always internal, not external. External is physicality. Internal is spirituality and spiritual light. That exists on the inside. Going to deeper levels of understanding, of consciousness, of work, of effort, of that process takes us to deeper revelations in our life. So, deeper level of process, number one. Number two, focusing on goals, being goal-oriented. And if you don't know what your goal is, well, that's a problem, right? Because you can be spinning your wheels. This is the understanding of the light of mercy. What is the light of mercy? We said Bina is the source of light of mercy. Light of mercy means the effort, the energy, the input, the earning, resisting, sharing against our nature, because sometimes we like to share, but that's not what makes a difference in our life. Sharing against our nature, when we don't feel like sharing, or it's hard for me to share, then when I share, again, what am I doing? I'm going above to that level called mazal, again, where the good stuff is, where the miracles are, where I go outside of the nature. Remember, from there below is nature. From there above nature. We always want to go above nature whenever possible. Okay? So sharing beyond our nature. That's the light of mercy. Light of mercy, according to the Kabbalists, is what creates the clothing or the vessel for light to come. Because if we don't create the light of mercy first, then we're busy with instant gratification. And instant gratification, is great. Unfortunately, it never lasts. That's the problem with instant gratification, okay? It doesn't last. And we want things to last. Kabbalah, which means receiving, means permanency and blessing. It has continuity, which means what I receive will be connected with the future good that will last. and it's permanent. It won't go away. It'll lead to better, more blessings in life. That's what we want. And that's certainly what we want in this month, in the month of Sagittarius. So again, focus on the goals, and those goals will lead us to new, better, deeper level of the process. Yes, absolutely deeper level of the process. Gratitude, appreciation this month, because that's very important ingredient, and it's also connected to the angel of this month. Generosity, let's call it spiritual generosity, which means what? It means I'm willing to share information with you too. I'm willing to share spiritual wisdom with those who are open to it. Now, don't hit other people over the head with it. If they're not ready for that, then you're not sharing, okay? But, sharing within the framework of your, going outside of your nature, where someone who's open to it, again, what's it going to do? It's going to take us above. It's going to take us above. Going beyond our nature in simple things, let's say procrastination, avoiding conflict because I don't like conflict, or avoiding confrontation, meaning sometimes Sagittarius can be confrontational. Right? Boom, they shoot, okay? And that can mean also they shoot you symbolically, meaning, right? With what? With whatever it is they want to tell you, without a filter. And sometimes we need that filter for those who may not be ready to hear what you want to tell them. So what's the sharing then? Just to say it anyway? No. You don't want to just say things because you're putting energy out there. There needs to be a place for that energy to go, or not. Then who are you saying it for? Is it for yourself? Then that won't work. That will not create miracles, okay? So all things that require me to give up, or sacrifice, or give into, this is the light of mercy. And there's an abundance of this available that we need to inject within the month of Sagittarius. So the tools that I've given you, again, the letters of the month, the Samach and the Gimel, okay, the two letters which we have up, Samach and Gimel, and the angel of this month, and the letters of the Tetragrammaton, and the two special names to help us control the energy of this month and get above, get to the level of mazala, get to the level which is beyond nature and from where we draw miracles. It's all available this month. And remember, I have all the downloads for you at rabbieabe.com. It's free of charge. Just go to the website, rabbieabe.com, go to the download section, create a free account over there, and you will have access to the downloads. And that's it for the month of Sagittarius. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to put them in the comment section in YouTube. And many blessings to you, and I'll see you very soon in the next video. All the best, everyone. All the best.